Hi, my name is Bromden, and I'm a patient at this ward. Every day the hospital holds group meetings. Everybody thinks I'm deaf and mute because I never say anything or react to things that go on in this awful place. But I'm actually the smartest one here. I've been around the longest and know the ins and outs of the ward. I know exactly what the big nurse wants to hear and exactly what she doesn't. I've experienced these group meetings more than anyone, but this particular day's meeting has been the most corrupt and unusual meeting ever. Take a look for yourself.
Somebody go sit beside Mr. Mancini. Quiet him down so we can start the meeting.
I'm tired.
Take it easy, Pete.
Awful tired.
I know, Pete.
Now, shall we get into this meeting? Last week's meeting, we were discussing Mr. Harding's problem concerning his young wife and how she attracts attention from other men with her large bosom. This makes him feel uneasy. Her maple blossom also gives him a feeling of inferiority. Does anyone care to touch upon this subject further?
Nurse Ratchet, may I go to the restroom?
Mr. McMurray?
Touch upon what?
What? Touch?
You ask, I believe, does anyone want to touch upon?
Touch upon the subject, Mr. McMurray. The subject of Mr. Harding's problem with his wife.
Oh, I thought you meant touch upon her, something else.
Now, what could you...
Oh, McMurphy, what a jokester.
McMurray Randall Patrick, 35 years old, never married, distinguished service cross and career for leading escape from communist prison camp. His honorable discharge for insubordination, drunkenness, assault and battery, disturbing the peace, repeated gambling, and 1 arrest for rape.
Rape?
Statutory with a girl of...
Since a child of 15. Whoa, couldn't make that stick. Girl wouldn't testify.
With a child of 15.
She said she was 17 and she was plenty willing.
A doctor's examination of the child proved repeated entry.
So willing, I took to sewing my pants shut.
The child refused to testify, and there seemed to be intimidation from the defendant, and the defendant left town shortly after the trial.
I had to leave, Doc. Let me tell you, that little hustler would have actually burnt me to a frazzle if by the time she was legal 16.
Our new admission, Dr. Spikey, since he ceased to insist on asserting himself in the group meeting, we will dispense with him now.
Mr. McMurphy, I was wondering if you have any previous psychiatric history in mental institutions.
No, if that's the case, this is my first trip, but I am crazy, Doc. I swear I am. Well, here, let me show you here. I believe the doctor at work for him wrote something here. Mr. McMurphy has evidence of repeated outbreaks of passion that suggests a possible diagnosis of a psychopath.
Meeting is adjourned. Everybody meet back tomorrow at 1.
Mr. Harding, Nurse Ratchet was just talking about you.
Like I said, I basically don't exist.
Well, buddy, say, is this the way these meetings usually go?
Usually go?
Is this how the usual procedure for these group shindigs? Bunch of chickens at a pecking party?
A pecking party? I've not the slightest inclination what you're talking about.
Why? Then I'll have to explain it to you. The flock gets sight of blood on some chicken, and they all go pecking at it until they rip the chicken to shreds. But then a couple of the flock gets spots and gets pecked to death more and more. Oh, a pecking party can wipe out a whole flock in a matter of a few hours. The only way to prevent it with chickens is to dip blinders on them so they can't see.
This analogy of the pecking party sure is symbolic. It shows how much power the big nurse really has on all of us patients here at the ward. Her manipulative tactics of dividing and conquering the group keeps control over all of us. And all of us simply comply because we are blinded by our own fears of being the next victim to be pecked at and torn apart by the nurse and the rest of the group. Man, this mental ward is really corrupt.